The championship tension was ratcheting up at our last event at Loretta Lynn's, and Grand National cross-country veterans Chris Borch and Charlie Mullins answered the call, taking strong victories. Now we're headed to the mountains of West Virginia. Can the other title threats respond? Welcome to NBC Sports' continuing coverage of the AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series presented by Maxxis. This is an AMA National Championship. Today it's the Rocky Mountain ATV MC Mountaineer Run. This is just outside of Morgantown, West Virginia. So as you guessed by the name, well, we've got hills, mountains, whatever you want to call it, elevation change. And as usual, we'll have the full menu of racing from ATVs as well as dirt bikes. And it's a track that is a little bit of everything, from tight woods to high-speed stuff, and of course a huge crowd on hand to watch it all. They love their off-road racing up in this part of the country. In fact, this is the general area where GNCC racing came to life about 30 years ago. Today we're going to focus on our bike race, and then we'll give you highlights of the ATVs and some other classes as well. I'm Jason Wygant here to give you the call. Riders to watch: Charlie Mullins, your series leader. Last year's champion Caleb Russell trying to go after him. Got the Yamaha boys, Josh Strang, Paul Whibley, Jordan Ashburn. They're going to try to stop them today. And it is the Yamahas leading into turn one. No surprise. They've been nailing the starts. No! Russell is going to steal it away. And the FMF KTM rider has got the All Balls Racing Hole Shot Award. KR has really stepped up his starts this year, not known as a great starter. And when you run the #1 plate on the bike as the defending champ, makes that kind of hard to believe, but he often gives the other riders the lead early. His teammate Mullins is up to second. Jason Thomas of the Dirt Wise Riding School team is third. Jordan Ashburn coming through. That's Adam Benor there. This field already starting to stretch out. Strang, Andrew DeLong. Bad starts. There's Chris Bach. So these guys got a lot of work to do. Normally, we've seen the Yamahas get the great starts, and the KTM duo of Russell and Mullins have had to work their way forward. Today, they are operating right from the get-go. Now, Mullins here on the 112, he's your series leader. He's won the last 2 races. I don't think that sits very well with Russell. So you can see the determination on the champ today. And you see Ashburn and Thomas coming through. And this gives you an idea of the variety of terrain we have today. Shout out to Tom McCormack, newcomer to the series there in the 400 up front. And we're going to give you the Rocky Mountain ATV MC replay of Caleb Russell dialing this start. Look at that. That's how you nail corners in these flat open field sections. A lot different technique than you would use in motocross, where you usually have a berm or rut to bank off of. Plus, the riders cannot practice or pre-run these courses. So you've got to judge the braking and acceleration points basically by feel and by looking at it. The very first time they hit that first turn in the race is the very first time they've hit it ever. Looks like Mullins here in second, keeping his teammate honest. Man, this looks fun back here. Very rocky soil, a lot of boulders to deal with. And the riders have all been adjusting their riding and training schedules for this type of terrain. We start the year down in Florida in the sand, then we go to the clay of Georgia. Tracks there are pretty flat. We move through the Carolinas, things get a little bit more elevation, a little bit rockier, a little more technical. And now that we're up here, things get very difficult. And our next round of snowshoe in West Virginia might be the most difficult of all. So you kind of have a rising tide of difficulty on the courses throughout the 2014 season. Ashburn and Jason Thomas coming through now. Here, Thomas on that 2-stroke. Make it work against the big 4-strokes. He's a rookie, former champion of the XC2 division. Look at this. Mullins has closed the gap on Russell. So the good start paid off for KR for a while, but he's going to have a battle on his hands. Ashburn doing a great job here on the AmPro NFAB Yamaha in third. Long, lanky kid out of Tennessee has gotten better and better each year. He's so tall, his team moved him up to this class for the big motorcycles a little early. Never had a chance to really season himself in the XC2 division for 250s. But he's starting to come on strong, as is Mullins. We got a challenge for the lead now. And both of these riders have really upped their game in this type of terrain. They've both got great natural talent and are bad fast. As you see, Ashburn is not letting them off the hook. He's there if they're going to make a mistake. Russell has actually been spending a lot of time out west with his new KTM teammate Taylor Robert, who races the Enduro Cross Series, riding over ledges and big boulders and things like that to improve his game in the slow technical stuff. Mullins is a dominator in the AMA Enduro Championship Series, which, unlike this, which is handlebar-to-handlebar racing, enduros are on the clock, and that means because the riders don't have to pass each other, the tracks are a lot tighter. The trail's a little bit fresher there too, so both these riders continue to up the game in all different type of terrain, and you can see once again they are putting it to the rest of the field. Caleb Russell leads here early. He wants this win desperately. Charlie Mullins has won 2 in a row coming in. Let's see if he can keep it alive.
Twins have notoriously been very hard on crankshafts because that big long stroke with those 2 cylinders just flexes the crankshaft around. So we were seeing bearing issues. Research development people at AMSOIL could show us that it was likely an oil problem. And they were correct. That was the issue. Instead of having to redesign the engine, I just had to do a better quality oil.
Racer TV is brought to you by AMSOIL, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and by Can-Am. Folks, you're watching Grand National Cross Country action, and that is Casey Martinez on the side of the track. She is actually our points leader in the women's class, cheering on her teammates here in the men's race this afternoon. Third place, Jordan Ashburn has gotten stuck, and no assistance at all from the KTM folks for him. Look at Martinez over there, right? She's going to look the other way while Ashburn tries to struggle and make his way through. Then you got to get out of the way. That thing becomes a bucking bronco if you lose momentum in the rocks. This is Andrew DeLong doing a great job of the factory Husqvarna. Martinez and the KTM folks helping him, but Husqvarna and KTM, they are a partnership. Man, when you see even Caleb Russell with feet off the pegs, you know these sections are difficult, and he has had to hustle. Mullins has stayed there for a while, definitely keeping his teammate honest. We check back in here on Ashburn. A couple of those little mistakes have allowed the boys in orange to get away. We'll see if Ashburn can reel them back in. Great battle up front. And you can see these guys can't blitz through these woods like we had at the races earlier in the year. There are those big boulders down there, not to mention the elevation change. And traction at a bit of a premium. This dirt pretty hard. Look at Russell trying to negotiate that big uphill, doing it well. Mullins came in there with a ton of momentum and then lost it in that first right-hand turn. Now Ashburn going to try to take it all standing up. Now he sits back down. Feet on the pegs as much as possible. That's how you keep that rear wheel driving. And Andrew DeLong, graduate of the XC2 division, definitely learning the ropes on the big bike. He's a big, strong kid, though, so the adaptation hasn't been quite as difficult. He's at a 4th place finish this year. Would love to get it up on the podium in the top 3, and that's really what everyone's shooting for right now. This dynamic duo in the KTMs have broken away from everyone again today, and they've done it for the last 2 years in this series. And Russell responding to the heat applied by Mullins, pulling away now just a bit. Here's some fans on the side of the track cheering these guys on. Hardy off-road racing fans here in the mountains of West Virginia. They like this kind of action. Now Ashburn's just trying to race those riders in front of him. He wants to try to keep those KTMs in sight, not only to try to go after the win, but because it makes it that much easier to hold off DeLong and everyone else behind him. Focus on racing forward, and that's what these two are doing right now. I mean, they are just pushing each other. They're both riding at pace to try to lead this thing. So Russell's just thinking, hang on to it. Mullins is just thinking, get it. Same thing, Ashburn's thinking about first and second. He's not worried about fourth place. That's the best way to hold it, but DeLong is coming, and he is a strong rider. Gets that first podium potentially in sight. You know he's going to go for it. Russell now getting around some lap traffic. It's just beautiful to watch these guys slice this course up. Ashburn still in third. Now things get tricky. Time for pit stops. It's going to be a bottle of water for Russell and fresh tank of fuel. No worries on the goggles situation. And where's his teammate? Looks like Russell has put the hammer down and is trying to get away from Charlie Mullins. Stay with us.
Sometimes you come across something so different, you just have to stop and check it out. The Rocky Mountain ATV MC website has everything you need, from our huge selection of tires, ATV and UTV accessories, and OEM parts, to our online chat, customer reviews, and instructional videos. Our extensive inventory means most orders arrive in 3 days or less. Get low prices, quick shipping, and incredible customer service. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Racer TV is brought to you by AMSOIL, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and by Can-Am. Welcome back. It's coverage of the AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series, presented by Maxxis and AMA National Championship. We'll be back with our bike show in a bit, but we're going to give you the highlights of our Pro ATV race. Adam McGill gets crazier in opening ceremonies every darn week. And he's a West Virginia native, so he's pumped. And nice little, well, it's almost like riding a motorcycle right there for the number 10 of Jared McClure. Everyone gunning for the number 1 of Chris Borich, 5-time and defending series champ and the points leader. Had a big win at our last event at Loretta Lynn's. Let's see if he can keep it going today. A little bit of contact there in turn 1, and how about the new kid, Jay Shadrin? Grabbing the Twin Air DeRisi Racing hole shot and looking over his shoulder. I think it's the first time he's ever led one of these things. Kid has come through the amateur and youth ATV ranks. His whole family races. But this is the first time as a pro that he's got the early lead. Brent Sturdivant, sight for sore eyes, in second. Walker Fowler, third. It's Landon Wolf and Kevin Yoho. So let's see what the kid can do with it. Jay Shadron going to give it everything he's got. Leading this thing. And this is tough for a rider. It's where they talk about arm pump. You can hang on so tight, get so nervous, really start thinking about leading these things. You lose circulation in your arms, and then it becomes almost impossible to hang on. Your arms will cramp up. But right now, Shadron is not only leading, he is pulling away from the best in the world. Waynesburg Yamaha, GBC Tires and Moto experts helping him out. He is only 17 years old, and he is flying right now on the number 11. Got the distinctive blue headlights on as well. That makes it easy on the announcers to know who's who. Now, Sturdivant, we were mentioning in second, hadn't even raced in this series, besides a few events here and there the last few years. He's doing a great job. He's been pushed back now. Chris Borich up to the number 2 spot. Not a new scenario for the champ. He has had a lot of young guns come up through the years that were hyped up with the potential to take him down. And with 5 straight titles, he has proven that he can weather any of those storms. Well, it was fun for Shadron for a while, but you knew the big hitters were coming. Fowler and Borich, who are 1-2 in the championship and are also 1-2 from last year's series, would hook up in a battle up front. They'd get around the kid. Here's Borich leading the way. Takes a look over his shoulder. They clear a lap rider. There's Fowler on the number 2. And boy, to deal with it through all the dust doesn't make it easy. But somehow Fowler is able to make the pass, get to the number 1 spot. And now, the most pivotal moment of any GNCC race. The white flag comes out. Someone else is leading besides Chris Borich, and this is when the champ goes into full attack mode. He's done it so many times, and here he is leaning on the back grab bar of Fowler. As for Shadron, the kid, he's still third, but he has the veteran Adam McGill all over him down the stretch, so 2 battles to watch. And now Borich has done it again, stealing the lead from Fowler in the nastiest terrain that this track has to offer. Look at Fowler all over him, needing to pay him back. So it's desperation time now for the number 2. As we go back to the battle for third, it looks like McGill has taken it away. He makes it up the top 3, gets a trip to the podium. Local fans will be happy about that. Back up front, Borich still with Walker Fowler all over him. Fowler with a new line. Oh, I thought he had the lead. It's not normally the way it goes. Borich is the one that makes the moves in the final lap, but there's enough time for Fowler to try to make it happen, and look at him going inside and outside everywhere, and it pays off. He has taken the lead back on the AmPro NFAB Yamaha. Borich and that Maxxis Suzuki gets him back again. What a battle. Now Fowler to the inside, and he takes it away. We might have the best race of the season brewing here, although we've seen these two go at it hard a couple of times. That's what, 4 passes on the last lap. Oh, Borich, he's still in this one. You get into those field sections leading to the finish. He can do some damage, and he finds an opening down the inside. Now he's on the outside. Through the dust we go, the fans coming to life. It's wheel to wheel. It's a drag race now. Borich on the outside, bumped off of the course. Fowler is going to go on to take the win here. As you look at the AMSOIL results, Borich recovers. Luckily, everyone okay down there. He finishes second, McGill third. Shadron third, about round out the top 5. Wow, that was high drama, and Fowler, a clutch win that's going to put him back in the championship chase. Beating Borich straight up down the stretch, not easy. We'll be right back.
What do you call a machine that combines precision-engineered handling, industry-leading power, and a rider-focused design? We call it a Can-Am. From the essentials to fully loaded, you'll find that same combination in every ATV and side-by-side we build. And right now, get your own for as low as $149 a month. Can-Am, the ride says it all.
Racer TV is brought to you by AMSOIL, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and by Can-Am. Well, we were last checking out our bike action here from the Rocky Mountain ATV MC Mountaineer GNCC. Caleb Russell was out front, trying to deal with some pressure from his teammate Charlie Mullins, but down the stretch, Russell started to get away. Now he has a lap to go. This kid is determined. When you talk to him off the track, he seems pretty mild-mannered, but the way he responds to losses nowadays, and that he's won the title and he knows he has to speed to win these things, he gets downright angry. Here is second place Mullins. He put a charge on his teammate for a while, and I think that just fired old KR up, and he went faster. Excellent ride here for Jordan Ashburn, who is in third. He has been in that position most of the day. As we go back up front to our leader, and let me check in with second place, Mullins. Ashburn, though, has some heat. Josh Strang, another Yamaha rider on the Rocky Mountain ATV MC back machine. Terrible start today, but it's coming on strong. Strang has passed fourth place Andrew DeLong to take that spot away, and he is digging to try to get Ashburn for the podium. Meanwhile, Mullins, if he holds on for second, easier said than done with all this lap traffic and difficult terrain, but if he does hold on, he will still be the GNCC points leader. But it's a mental war between the teammates. We see Ashburn still safe in third. Russell had a tough one at the season opener in Florida, has been in comeback mode ever since. Got close in the series, but then Mullins won the last 2, so this is how the champion responds, with a great ride in some very difficult terrain here. Mullins hoping for one mistake to maybe get back in it. Nice line there to run the inside of the bottom of that hill. Get a little closer. Hear the track radio chattering. as Strang is closing the gap on Ashburn. There's DeLong. But DeLong's still in position here. Now we see Strang is there again, so the number 4 is not giving up, trying to make the charge up from 5th to 4th to 3rd. Wait a minute. Russell is looking down at the motorcycle, trying to figure out what happened there. Let's look at the back tire. Now they run foam inserts, so they really don't have flats to worry about. His course is so rocky and choppy, sometimes it might fool you into thinking there's a problem when there's not. I mean, look at the rear wheels getting kicked around as they exit this section. This is DeLong here. And Strang still pushing hard. Well, whatever problem Russell thought he had, he's put it behind him and has turned it wide open and is now in the closing stages of a strong response to the recent Mullins win streak. There's no doubt about it, these two are the best in the off-road world. The question is, who's the best among them? Today, it's going to be Russell. He's got this one tucked away. Caleb Russell, not happy with the results the last 2 weeks. He responds with a big victory here at the Mountaineer Run. Mullins going to settle for second. Question is, what's going on behind him? You've got that 3-rider duel. Here's Mullins emerging from the woods. Tough day at the office for all of these riders dealing with the rocks. It's pretty hot and humid out there today. Solid ride for second, but you know the hot rod wants more. Here's the battle. Strang has gotten 3rd from Ashburn, and I'm saying he stole it. Not even in this fight the whole day. Ashburn trying to respond, and he does. He gets back around. This is going to be an endurance contest down the stretch. They've been racing for 3 hours. Strang around the outside. Nice move. That'll put him on the inside here. And Josh Strang is going to take 3rd place. Oh, aggressive riding between the Yamaha duo. I don't think any harm or foul there, though, as you look at the AMSOIL results. That was just heads up. DeLong 3rd, Bach on the Rockstar Energy. Honda 6th. Thomas, Whibley, Sipes, and McCormick round out the top 10. Here's your AMSOIL race recap. Bad start there for Ryan Sipes off the line. Couldn't get that thing going. Great start for Caleb Russell. A rare hole shot to the number 1. Now, he had a challenge from his teammate Charlie Mullins for a while, and that was something for the fans to watch. But down the stretch, Russell never let off, and he was able to open up a gap. He's proven tough and adept on any terrain, trying to close in another championship. Meanwhile, Strang closes in on Ashburn and steals it down the stretch. Great racing here. Congrats to our winners. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.